What's up, people? I'm here today to talk about my dear friend Twitch. I'm not going to talk about who he was. I'm going to speak on who he is because I know that he's still here with us and he's still here with me. And it's hard to talk about. Frankly, you guys have been seeing me posting memories because it's helped in this crazy past week to try to be okay, which a lot of us are not. But yeah, I just want to share some stuff with you guys that you might not know about our personal relationship. I say the first time I saw Twitch was the Wade Robson project, and that was a game changer for me. Being a boy that loved dance and also was an athlete, playing football, running track, all of these things, I finally felt like I saw someone on TV who was athletic, who was a killer, who was a man, and who also had blonde hair and facial piercings. He made me feel like I wasn't alone in my kind of melting pot of being this kid that liked to wear Hollister but FUBU and play football, but also dance to TRL and BT 106 in Park videos. I felt like, man, that guy he was magic. He was magic from his soul to his style to, he is magic. He is magic. Is, not was. He is magic. Doing toe touches and locking and popping, it was special. I never seen anything like it. Um, the first time I met him was So You Think You Can Dance season 3 auditions. I had made it through the regional audition and went to Vegas week, and so many amazing dancers there. Um, and I saw Twitch in the hallway. We were registering, and I was like, "Man, I know who you are. You're amazing. My name's Will." I introduced myself. He treated me like, like we were family right from the beginning. And listening to other people's stories lately, and just connecting with people, he had an ability to make all of us feel this way, and not in the way where people just are kind of putting on and making you feel good like they know you. And it was authentic. It's genuine when he speaks to you, no matter if he's known you for 1 minute or 15 years. And in the hallway, we just hit it off right away. He said, "Man, I'll check you out later. Good luck. Hope you're doing well with the audition process, et cetera, et cetera." And fast forwarding to later on in Vegas week, we had to do solos. After we got through classes, we would do solos. You make it through hip hop class, you make it through me and Michael's, you make it through all these things, and then you do your solos, to keep moving forward in the process. And I remember Twitch being one of the people that was giving me pointers. Like, we were in competition with each other to make it as a hip hop dancer on the show, in which I was no competition for Twitch, but there were killers there, man. Dietrich's, Cedric Gardner, Hawk, and you knew all the hitters that were there. And Twitch was giving me pointers before my solo. Um, I remember that about him. I keep that with me. Neither of us made the show that year. Moving forward to season 4, both back in Vegas week again, and same thing. Amazing connection, and he was doing the same exact things, like showing me love, asking me how I've been. I told him I was going to move out to LA. He was like, "Man, hit me up when you get there." And Hollywood, you think somebody's just saying that. They're not really true to their word. Um, Twitch made the show. I did not make the show, and shortly after that, he becomes Twitch, that we all know, some of you from a distance, some of us personally. And I ended up moving out to LA 2009 and did my first on-screen project through a good friend, Ryan Ramirez. She put me on, and Twitch was the star of that day, star always. And we connected there in LA and just started hitting it off, man, on set. He was always hyping me up, showing me love, et cetera, et cetera. After that experience on set for the first time, he started inviting me to sessions. And I remember one day specifically, we were at Evolution Studios, I believe, and a few sessions had gone by. I'd been getting my feet wet in LA, and Twitch, he looked at me and he was like, "What is this change I see in you?" And I was able to hit a lot harder out of nowhere. And I remember him being like, "What's going on? I've never seen you dance like this." And I was just like, "Bro, this is you. I've been around you. I've been watching you." And that's a fond memory I have because it's like a switch finally clicked for me as far as using my power and technique. And he was just like, thanks for sharing that, bro. I haven't taught you anything. I'm like, man, just being around you teaches people so much. That was, that's how I felt. That's how I feel about him. I learned so much without him even saying anything. Moving forward to all these years later, Twitch being on the show, So You Can Dance, multiple seasons, becoming this global icon. And I got called, I think it's 2014 or 15, to choreograph for So You Can Dance. And I did one episode, and then another episode. I was able to actually come back on the show all these years later after I got cut. Twitch had been on the show for numerous years, and I got to choreograph for him and Val. Had this wedding dance in my head, and Usher was my favorite artist. So we did Yeah. And I remember being in these rehearsals, and this guy, you would think that he was a contestant trying out for the show. He wanted to be the best. He wanted to ask 1,000 questions. And this is to me. I'm this little guy choreographer, that doesn't have half the resume, half the credits. And he's staying after rehearsals, asking me how I would move, how I would do this, what's my vision, trying to get all these things across. And I remember it just felt like that same thing we talk about with Kobe, that mentality, to that Mamba mentality. He wanted to be the best version of himself, no matter what he was doing, no matter if it was his 1,000th episode of So You Can Dance, or if it was, Magic Mike, Step Up, whatever the case is, whatever he was doing, he wanted to be great. And that rubbed off on me. I was so appreciative. And he even used the term, he said, "I want to get your choreography right." Like, he knew that show could really help me, being somebody that was at the time becoming pretty successful through social media. He knew that I wanted to do industry things and what my goals were, because we'd had many conversations, and he just showed so much care. And that was one of the times that his character was really shown. And I have notes here on my phone because I don't want to leave out stuff that's really important for me to share with you guys about him. The same way he was on So You Think, he did the same thing on the Ellen Show. Twitch actually got my work on the Ellen Show multiple times. He would fight for me to be there. Anything, any project, anything coming up, he would hit me up, say, "Hey man, I'm submitting you for this," or "Hey, I want you to bring some of the company members to do this or that." He was always pushing for me, and I just never seen anybody have a heart like that for me in the industry at his level. He's always reaching back. 2015, we started a dance event called Build a Beast, and I could never afford Twitch. I could never afford him, but he always made it a priority to be there. We would always have him open up the event week, and I remember the first year specifically at Burbank. I remember the first week at Burbank. He came early because he was the first class, and he just sat with me in the room. There was a picture of me on the screen. He just came and put his arm around me and just said, "Wow, look what you're doing. I'm so effing proud of you." And he just sat with me in the dark room. And this is my dance hero. This is the guy that I looked up to for so long and wanted to be. And every year he'd come back, he'd be busy, maybe not be able to work really that week of Build a Beast, but he'd make it a priority with his manager. He'd make it work. He'd make it work money wise. He didn't care how much we could have paid him. He made it a priority, and I really appreciated that. He he also he also would call me. When you're in the spotlight, there's a perspective that a lot of people can never understand, because if you're not in those shoes, you just don't know. And my career started taking off in front of the world, 2012, 13, 14, 15, you make success in front of people, but you also make your mistakes in front of the world. You grow up in front of the world. And, a lot of I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I had my ups and downs, many of them in the industry, many of them in front of my whole community. And whenever he would feel something was off with me, or if I got into a social media something with somebody, or he saw me kind of out of pocket, he would call me to check in. Sometimes he'd call me from set, sometimes he'd call me from vacation, sometimes he'd call me at 1 a.m. and be like, "What's good? Are you okay?" Checking in. But not only just checking in, he would also check me. And you need people like that. He didn't care who I was. He didn't care who he was. He would check me. If he thought I was making bad decisions or could have handled something better, he would tell me. He would be straight up with me. He would tell me. And I needed that at the time. When you have a lot of people around you that you're paying or making money off of you, or are gaining success or notoriety around you, sometimes people aren't always truthful with you, or they feel like they can't be because of how they see you. And he was always very transparent with me, and he let me know how he felt, and it made me better. When I would slip or fall, or maybe not handle things the best as a human being, make mistakes in front of people, make mistakes in front of the world, he would tell me how he felt. And I really, really appreciated that, especially from him. I remember one time I posted our backyard. We had just bought a house, and Twitch, he DM'd me. I posted like our fireplace or something like that, and Twitch was like, he said, "Man, that backyard looks fire." Um, and I just remember thinking, bro, this backyard ain't 1/8 of what you have. Like, it's not even comparable to your house, what the things that you experience. And I remember he was just always somebody that he made you feel good about yourself. He would randomly DM about anything. It could be an outfit, it could be apparel that we made. He would be like, he wouldn't ask for it. He wouldn't ask for a discount. All of a sudden, I would see Twitch, and he would have on Ama apparel, something that nobody else had even ordered yet, our least selling item, and he'd be like taking a selfie and tagging me in it. And I'm like, "How'd you even get this?" And I'd go check our books or our order form, and it's like Stephen Boss ordered 4 items, like randomly. I wouldn't even know. He wouldn't even let me know. He wouldn't ask me for anything. He would just support. He was the same thing with studios. He was the same thing just all the time. Is I never met anybody like that. And man, we had a lot of amazing moments and amazing memories to share. And I remember calling him to ask him if he would be in my wedding, if he would be a groomsman. And immediately his response was like, "Are you kidding me, dog? Dog, of course. Yeah, I got you. What do you mean? Let's go. Let's go." I remember him being like, like as if we were speaking about a football game or something. He's like, "Dog, I got you. Let's go." He was so hyped and so excited for me to take the next steps in my life as a person, as a man. And funny story, where we had a fun weekend. My family came in early. He checked with me to see when they were coming in, so he could come and spend time and just be human. Um, Days before, just wanted to hang out around my grandmother, my aunts, my cousins, everybody. Just didn't matter how many pictures people wanted to take. He just wanted to be there, just be Steven, not Twitch, not the star, not the icon, just be around. And that meant a lot to me. It was so special. And uh, I remember the following Monday at this time he's judging on So You Think You Can Dance, and his voice was completely gone from the weekend. We danced. He battled my dad on the dance floor. And I remember the Monday following on the show, he could not speak. And I just remember all of the tweets reading, "We know why your voice is gone." And he sent me a text from So You Think, like, "Bro, I can't talk. Everybody knows why." And he was just that kind of person. It didn't matter. He was gonna make it work. He was gonna be there for me. He was gonna live. He wasn't gonna half ass it. He was gonna turn up, and we were gonna enjoy ourselves like we did when we were around. It was infectious. It was infectious. It was his spirit. And the same way he gave 100% in everything, he did that in our friendship and our relationship. He gave that in being truthful and honest with me, being there for me, checking me when we were on set, when we would be at anything, a battle at choreographer's carnival. He would show up early, being Twitch, be there early, be in a full sweat before the show even started. We would be on set for things or YouTube shows or just sessioning, and if I gave him the energy, like, let's get down, whatever, he would come at me, push me. He was one of those people that it was like, oh man, Twitch is going to be there. I would lab the day before. I would already know, like, don't really get intimidated by people in the freestyle realm. Like, I felt like this is what I do. Like, this is one of my gifts. But if I know Twitch was going to be there, it was one of those days like, you got to bring your hard hat. He's my friend, but hell no, you ain't embarrassing me, bruh. Like, no, I would be practicing the night before because I already knew, like, one of the most incredible talents, but also just one of the best people. He is one of the best people I've ever experienced in my life, and I'm going to miss you, man. And I thank you for everything you've done for me, and your light, your legacy, it will never go away. Impact so huge because of who you are. You know, your dancing is amazing. Your movement is amazing. But who you are is what affected all of us. You are Superman. I love you, man. I pray for you and your family. And I know I'll see you again, big bro. Peace.